Fashion literally saved my life. It showed me that I had something to offer other than just being a guy with a disability, because that's what I identified as for so long. And once I realized that I can do more and fashion showed me that, it was like a whole other arena of creativity. Growing up with Erb's palsy has been literally life-changing from the start, because I had to literally adjust to just being a normal human being, but having a disability, so that means I had to do everything differently. And at the time, I didn't understand that, because I was just a kid and I was just, just trying to be what normal was. And being around other people, especially kids, this is where it really started for me, when I really started to realize that I was different. And they started to kind of tease me and make fun of me. And it was probably because they never seen anyone like me before, because I've never seen anyone with my condition as well. Flat out, it was like very hard, because I was trying to deal with what I was dealing with at school, and then I would come home and I would mask it all up. So my family never knew about the bullying and the teasing of any kind up until my adult years, when I started to talk about it.
So what is it you're making here?
Well, this is like a pleat. So it's going to be draped onto a bodice. It wasn't until after leaving high school is when I started to embrace my arm, because at a point in time I had to sit and talk to myself and figure out what was it that was kind of hindering me from just looking at life in the greatest way possible, because life is a blessing, and I knew that. I realized that I wasn't accepting myself for who I really was, and that was including my arm. And once I said, okay, well, let me try that. Let me try just embracing myself fully and owning it. And once I started to embrace that, literally, I realized my disability has become my superpower. And going into fashion and being a fashion designer, I was able to use my gifts, my natural gifts of fashion and aesthetics and style to be able to create. But it was the fact that I was sewing with one hand, and when people started to realize that, they were so inspired by that. And I realized just them being inspired and me making someone look good, that was my superpower working. My fashion aesthetic is, I call it streetwear fantasy, because being from an urban city community, I'm so aware of streetwear and grunge. So in my garments, whenever I'm creating, I'm always keeping in mind of functionality, which is the streetwear aspects of it, something that you can actually wear down the street, but that glamour and fantasy of jaw-dropping, like, oh, where did you get that? Like, wow, you look amazing. Something that you'll see out of a runway magazine. I want to be talked about amongst the Tom Fords, the Dapper Dans, the Patrick Kellys, Virgil. I want kids to be in fashion school like I was, and learn about how a guy with a disability is making couture garments and avant-garde, and not letting adversity or letting obstacles stop him. Self-love is so important. You must love who you are as you are. And if you have something that makes you stand out, that means you're extra special. God loves you that much more. So, hey, just love yourself.